I, 20 male, have a brother called Jack, 29, who's married to his wife Amy, who's 26. About 2 years ago, they had their first child, Lisa. On our side of the family, we all look incredibly alike. Our parents have brown hair and brown eyes, and so do Jack and me. Amy, on the other hand, is from Norway and looks very different. She has blonde hair and blue eyes and generally has a very Scandinavian look, unlike our very American look. So to what I thought was no one's surprise, Lisa got features from her mom. They look identical and they look more alike as time passes on. This was all fine from my understanding, but I don't know why it would even be a problem. But about 1 year ago, my brother started telling me how his co-worker has a daughter who looks like his female version. He said that everyone said that the firstborn, especially if it's a daughter, is the spitting image of their father. I didn't find it that weird, as I'd heard that before. Still, I think it is kind of obvious that genetics work in weird and different ways, and what is common is not always what happens to everyone. I told him that genetics works in surprising ways sometimes. However, as time went on, he started saying more stuff like this, like asking me where I thought Lisa got her blonde hair from, which obviously was from Amy. He did this with other things like Lisa's nose, eyes, and little mannerisms. It was obvious it was from Amy, which I always told him. Now I found out that he's demanding that they take a paternity test, as he is exceptionally sure that Lisa is not his. Amy is highly distraught by this and has tried to explain to him that Lisa is his, that she just got stuff from Amy and that happens. He's threatening her with divorce if she doesn't agree to do a paternity test, as that would be his confirmation that she cheated. She broke down at our parents' house telling us all this. Our parents texted and called him, and I have too, but he's now angry with us too because we're taking the cheater's side. His words. She and Lisa are staying with us, and she's extremely confused about where all this is coming from. I called my brother yesterday, and this time he picked up the phone. I managed to have a conversation with him and asked him why and if he had any evidence that Amy ever cheated or why he thought so. He basically told me he didn't have any proof, but he knew and was 100% sure of that. I asked him why and how. He told me that firstborn daughters always behave, look, and are a carbon copy of their father. Still, Lisa is not even remotely like that. He said that if it isn't like that, Lisa would at least have some features from him, which she doesn't. I was getting angry at him because it seemed so weird to come to that conclusion. I told him that he was an idiot for all of this, and that he would regret all of this later on. He hung up and was even madder at us, saying that Amy had manipulated us all and that we couldn't crawl back to him when the truth was out. I haven't told Amy that this is the reason or that I've talked to him, because I don't think she'll react that well to hearing this. However, my parents are saying that it was extremely unnecessary of me to behave like that when I got talking to him, as this may have been our chance to have a mature and serious conversation with him. So, am I the idiot for how I reacted? Edit, Amy told me he basically sat her down and told her he would be honest with her. Then he said that he didn't think Lisa was his, that he basically knew she cheated on him, and that he would do a paternity test. He did not go behind her back. They then had a fight, and all I know is that my brother was now at a friend's house and Amy went to my parents' house. Amy is not outright refusing to take the test either. Still, when he brought it up, she was extremely hurt by him, insinuating that she would cheat on him. She's been with my brother for 7 years. They had a seemingly great relationship until now. She's mainly hurt by the accusations and that her relationship will most likely never be the same. She told me that the last couple of years now just feels like a lie, that he, for the most part, thought she was cheating. The test will happen, and I will try my best to update you with the results when they are done. OP, you are not the idiot. He told me that firstborn daughters always behave, look, and are a carbon copy of their father. This is evidence of a delusional belief system that's been reinforced by pseudo-scientific clickbait websites. Rather than fight with him over his delusion, it would be better for Amy to burst his bubble with real science. Tell your sister-in-law to tell him, I'll get the paternity test after you sign the divorce papers. This is what makes me think it's just delusion. If I thought there was a chance a kid wasn't mine, I'd do a DNA test in secret. You're gonna blow up your marriage without being sure? But he's dumb enough to not understand elementary genetics. He's too dumb to figure out how to get a paternity test done. I can almost guarantee that this is projected guilt and that he cheated on her at some point. Now he's reaching so hard he's going to dislocate her shoulder. Jeez, OP, your brother is a moron who listens to too much TikTok nonsense. I hope he enjoys his divorce and child support payments. Or this could be a mental crisis brought on by some unacknowledged insecurities he has. Either way, I don't think anything is wrong with how you reacted. Please update us. Update. Am I the idiot for how I reacted when my brother asked his wife for a paternity test? First, the paternity test was done and the results were returned. Shocking news. Lisa is my brother's, no doubt there. Some of you thought my brother was cheating on Amy, but from what we all have gathered, he is not cheating on her. Now we know what drove him to this point. My brother had anxiety when he was younger. Now I know that his anxiety was more severe than I ever thought. It's most likely what happened again. His anxiety has mainly been pointed towards other people. He doesn't trust that what they want was best for him. One example they told me was that he apparently refused to sit beside someone in classrooms because he thought they would take their pens and stab him. This is just one example. He also believed that people were conspiring against him, especially close friends. So what happened was that one of his co-workers brought his daughter to the office one day, and everyone talked about how his daughter looked like him, if he was a girl and 30 years younger. After this, they apparently started talking about genetics in the lunchroom for some time. Almost every dad showed pictures of their daughters who looked just like them, and all moms showed pictures of their sons who looked just like them. Of course, this was not the case for everyone, but for many. This apparently sparked something in my brother. He started obsessing over genetics, which confirmed his thoughts that brown eyes and hair should outweigh blue eyes and blonde hair. He fed into these thoughts and obsessed over them for almost a year. Also, as for why he didn't do the paternity test, he wanted to show Amy how easy it was not to keep secrets. He thought that if he was honest about knowing about her being unfaithful and being honest about wanting a paternity test, it would be easier for her to come clean. It was also so that he could walk out of it knowing he did everything 100% right while she did not. Amy does not want a divorce right now. My brother should be extremely thankful for that. They're going to both couples therapy and individual therapy. Amy for things unrelated and Jack for, well, all of this and his anxiety issues. They will live separately for a while, but they are insistent on making this work. Jack is not completely fine, and while we do want to trust him, we think that the answers from the paternity test are just breaking things down for him. We've tried to get him into therapy as quickly as possible. However, we couldn't find any available appointments until next week, which is still quicker than expected. He's still very sorry for all of this. He reacted very emotionally to seeing the test. He kept telling Lisa, "You know Daddy loves his little girl," when he was here. I also talked with my parents about it this week. Still, they told me that it was just anxiety, that it portrays different in different people, and that he just happens to be one of those affected by it more. I've never suffered from anxiety, so I kinda just took their word for it. If it's something more severe, I want him to get the help he deserves. I'll talk to Amy about this because she's also questioned if it is just anxiety. OP, I'm sorry, but he apparently refused to sit beside someone in classrooms because he thought they would take their pens and stab him, goes way beyond the bounds of general anxiety. Bro literally blew up his entire marriage due to his paranoid delusions. Your brother needs serious help. My thoughts as well. These are outright paranoid delusions. The best guess is that the parents were in denial, so it went untreated until it escalated to this. Parents don't want shameful mental health issues in the family because it would look bad on them. To be clear, it's not shameful, it just required help like any other medical issue. Your parents have failed him. Please get him help. My mom hasn't been the greatest in the past. She can be insulting and was catty. She didn't get off to a good start with my wife due to her rude and self-centered behavior, but I took my wife's side and laid down boundaries. My mom gets that she can't be rude these days. I fully understand that my wife will never like her, my mom probably won't like her either, and we all just avoid each other for the most part. Don't get me wrong, it saddens me as I was close to my family, but my wife comes first. We recently got married and it was nearly a perfect day. The one issue that arose was my mom had a fairly large, very noticeable food colouring stain on her cheek, about the size of a lighter. Obviously she wasn't happy about this and wanted it covered. She never does her own makeup and knows very little about makeup. The makeup artist was a friend of my wife's and knew all the drama about my mom. She told her she would try, but the makeup would have to be darker to hide it. She and my wife giggled ahead of time and decided to screw with her. She made it super dark, like orange. My mom has fair skin, so it looked ridiculous. My mom seemed to believe nothing lighter would cover it, so she removed all the makeup and went on with her big pink blotch. I didn't know about this then, but we recently returned from our honeymoon, and my wife hosted a dinner to look at wedding pictures. Her friends all began laughing about what they did to my mom. This was the first time I heard about it, and I said that it was kind of mean and girlish. My wife gave me a look. Her friends kept saying it was funny and my mom was dumb and got what she deserved. At this point, I got annoyed and said they acted like middle school bullies and should be embarrassed. Whatever my mom had done in the past, she was not the problem on the wedding day. This might be way too far, but I said at least she laughed it off and moved on with her spot. They would have spent the whole day insecure and worried about Instagram. When they left, my wife became very upset and said that I should be on her side 100%, not 95%, and I humiliated her by speaking to her friends like that. She accused me of being a mama's boy. Not the idiot, you were correct. Your wife acted like a middle school bully, not an adult. Being her husband does not mean you support her blindly. It means you have the courage to tell her when she's going down the wrong path. That is not being a mama's boy. That is being a good and moral human being. If she wants you to be behind her 100%, she needs to act like a grown-up. Wow, this is really terrible. You just got a glimpse of your future here, buddy. She's probably going to do more unacceptable things in the future, whether to your mom or anybody else, and gaslight you to support her doing things simply because you guys are married. This was cruel, period. I'm amazed he didn't see this side of her before. Mean Girls 100%. Not too late for an annulment. He married a woman that's just like his mom. Dude, what kind of person makes their wedding day into a revenge party? That's what she and her friends remember most about the day? So unbelievably juvenile and sad. You are the idiot, and good luck being married to this petty gal. I adopted my pre-tween niece 5 years ago. Her parents just weren't fit to be parents. They're still involved in her life as her aunt and uncle. My niece is homeschooled. She goes to a co-op for 4.5 hours, 4 days a week. I work 3 12-hour shifts a week, so I usually need help getting her to and from co-op 1 to 3 days a week. My sister works nights and is available to take her. Since it's a drive back to the house, she usually hangs out at the co-op and helps with whatever they need. One mom at the co-op makes lunches for the kids as her contribution. She has all of their allergy dietary info and none of the kids has complained so far. Some examples of their lunches are turkey or ham sandwiches, PB&J, mac and cheese, chicken nuggets, grilled cheese, hot dogs and occasionally pizza. She also gives them sides like a cracker, goldfish, Cheez-Its, chips, Ritz, veggie straws, etc. Some kind of fruit slices, fruit cups, applesauce, some kind of dessert, fruit snacks, cookies, brownies, etc. and a drink, usually milk or juice. My sister told my niece that she doesn't want her eating that crap and that when she takes my niece to co-op, she'll be packing my niece lunch. Apparently she told my niece that carbs are bad for her and that these lunches will make her fat. My niece came to me upset about it because she likes those lunches and that's what everyone else eats. I told her my sister was wrong and then sent her to play before calling my sister. My sister defended everything she said and I told her that if she had concerns about my niece's diet, she would need to speak to me about it, not my niece. I also told her that I'm my niece's parent, not her, and if she feels that she has the power to make unilateral decisions regarding her health without consulting me, I will get her a babysitter that can take her to the co-op. A lot of my family is against me on this, and they say that it's my sister's kid, so she should have a say, and that my getting a babysitter will be cruel to both my niece and my sister. She already stays with my neighbour during the day, but my neighbour can't take her to co-op. Am I the idiot for telling my sister she can't make decisions about my niece? Not the idiot. Your sister is pretty much lying. Carbohydrates are actually good for you. It sounds like the diet the co-op is following is actually doing pretty well. And I would just call your niece your daughter. Honestly, who the heck is your sister kidding? She is not your sister's kid. She is your kid. Did everyone forget about the adoption? The unfitness to be parents? From now on, from an adoptee standpoint, only refer to your daughter as your daughter. Trust me, she needs it, and only refer to your sis as bio-mom when in a context like this, though otherwise aunt is fine. Do not let your sister make any decisions about your daughter. There is a reason you were able to adopt her. Your sister has no rights to her. I agree. Way to give an 8-year-old body issues in the future. You took your daughter in for a reason, and that reason is that your sister is unfit to be a parent. Your sister can't pass parenting off on you and then try to make stupid decisions for your daughter. Personally, I would get a babysitter and no longer leave the child alone with her. It isn't fair to let your sister cause harm by projecting her body image issues onto a child. I, female 39, married my husband 54 6 years ago. Together 8. He has 2 children, male 20 and female 19, Emma. I have a daughter, tween. I was a widow when I met my husband. Emma has severe issues with her father getting married again, while her brother got along very well with me and my daughter. He's the best older brother out there. Emma did not like me and she mistreated my daughter too, to the degree that she rarely left my arms when her sister was home. When Emma was 15, she permanently moved to live with her mother. My deceased husband left me a small fortune when he passed that I never touched since I had a good job and never wanted anything more, so last year I helped pay my stepson's tuition. I'm planning to do that with my daughter too, and I will add the rest to my daughter. My stepdaughter is very angry now and is calling me the idiot. Am I? I never had a good relationship with her. She always hated me, and I don't think she's becoming a good person. Honestly, I would rather leave more to my daughter than pay for her ungrateful idiot. My husband is sad because he thinks I'm being unjust. I'm very sad about it, but I still don't feel I am the idiot. Not the idiot. She has no claim on your money. She hasn't treated you as family, so you don't have to treat her as family. Your husband should feel blessed you chose to give some of your first husband's money to his son. Not many people would do this. She's not entitled to anything from you when she can't even give you respect for how her father feels about you. You are the idiot. You've complicated this situation by paying for your stepson. I understand the argument that you should not have to pay for a stepchild with whom you do not have a close relationship, but I also appreciate her father's argument. Now you've placed him in a bad predicament by the act of choosing to fully fund one of his children's education and smugly choosing to exclude the other because, and I quote, "Honestly, I would rather leave more to my daughter than pay for her ungrateful idiot." You've put him in a no-win scenario. Can I ask why you've neglected the fact that the father could pay for the daughter? His wife has given him the gift of one less child to pay for, so why can't he and his ex pay for the other? Emma is angry because she realizes that her actions have consequences. She treated you and your daughter like crap, and now she thinks she deserves something from you. Heck nah! Emma has 2 parents who can fund her. She's not your child, she's not even your friend. Tell hubby that if he wants everyone to be equal, you will withdraw from helping his son. Mini update. I sent her this. Hi Emma, unfortunately I have no means to pay for your education, nor do I understand why you would expect me to. However, I can help you find student jobs on evenings and weekends. I know many children do that, including myself. I wish you luck. I got, okay, whatever, which. She says this is proof that I treated her badly, LOL.